Hey, wonderfuls. Welcome back to another episode of Helpers High by me, Tiffany, where we tell the truth, laugh at our own nonsense, and glow like we mean it. So, I had an epiphany. I know we haven't talked about one of those in a while. Um, and it happens at a celebration event that I was at. It was, a couple of friends just enjoying each other's company. Let's call it a friendsgiving. So the epiphany happened because truly sometimes our lessons happen so naturally that we miss them. So this was a good one because it kind of showed me immediately things that I have, things that I want, things that I don't need. So let's get into it. So sit with me for a minute. So picture this. We're kind of gathered around four or five tables, and there's about 15, 18 people. We had a game that we were going to play. It was like an icebreaker, but a personal icebreaker, like to get to know you better kind of style. So the question in particular that started this for me was honestly, it was if you had an unlimited amount of money, money was no object, what would you be doing with your time? So we then took turns kind of going around the room and saying like what we would be doing. And there were some great answers. That was spend more time with the kids, spend more time with the grandkids. One couple said, live on a farm with baby animals. And they're actually that is part of their dream. They're doing that. Bought some land and that's their plan. So that was kind of cool. There was a lot of talk about traveling. There was talk about Christmas decor and decorating with more lights. And again, a lot of good, sweet, wholesome, vision board worthy things. And my answer was that I would retire, first of all, right? I'd be done with corporate America, but retire in a way that I can still have the things that satisfy my soul. So, of course, I would go on cruises, guys. You know that already. Cruises is my thing, right? And Greg's thing too. But we just enjoy it. And it's more than just the cruise destinations, it's the live entertainment, it's the constant chatter with people. So, Greg likes to walk the Lido deck. I like to invite new conversations from different people and find out where they're from and all of those things. And cruise kind of exposes you to being able to do that. So that's allows me to get some helpers high juice at the same time because you give good information. We've been on, 20 plus cruises and you give some good information to them that they possibly didn't know. So I feel like, again, satisfying that urge. Then I said, definitely motivational speaking in some sort, whether I'm going to somebody's speech or I'm having one, stage performances and all of those things. I would want to see that. Even in my retirement, I would want to know how I'm giving back to people and helping with mental health and just clarity in life and all of those things. My point of that was it had me sitting there thinking, hmm, none of what they said would actually feed my soul. And then I said, where are my dreamers? Where are the people that want big things in life? So I just thought maybe there's a mix of things going on. I said, oh, maybe people are burnt out. I mean, heck, that could just be it. It's the holiday season. It's a lot of things going on in the world. So I don't know if you're keeping up, but just let me know. If you are, then you understand it. If you're not, no need to jump in now. But I said, was it that convenience is what you're looking for at this stage in your life, maybe in the room? I mean, there were different variations of ages, probably ranging from, I would say, 30 to 60. Um, but yet the answers were super similar. They all seemed to be comfort driven. So I said, maybe we're in a room where you want to downplay your dreams because you don't want other people to think you're crazy. And then I said, regardless of why those answers didn't seem huge to me, this may not be my room. This may not even be my people. It's not a space for growth based on, now just based on those answers. So it didn't reflect what I wanted in life. And I need that the people that I spend the most time with to have some of the things that actually drive me to do more. And I think we all do. You need to be surrounded with people who make you better. And I hope you guys agree. But I wanted people in that moment to give me like ridiculous big dreams. There was nothing wrong with their answers. It's what they wanted. And to them, don't forget, a dream is a dream. It just wasn't mine. Now, I thought about it because I was like, everybody in this room is super qualified, super educated. They have skills galore, but yet none of them had shown me how they were going to use any of those things that I know about them in their future life, in their future rich life. Okay. So when I say nothing was wrong with them, I want to be very clear on that because one, they may be watching. But think about this. Starbucks is amazing. I don't think any of you would disagree. I'm not even a coffee drinker, and I think the concept of Starbucks, the franchise of Starbucks, the all of it, fantastic, right? But if I go into Starbucks and I want a burger and fries, Starbucks sucks. They don't sell that. I'm not in the right space. When I go into Walmart, Walmart has what I usually say is everything. Walmart is great until you need a cigarette. If you smoke, Walmart is not the store for you. They don't sell it. You would have to go into another space to satisfy your need. So, yes, you can stay in Starbucks, you can stay in Walmart, you can stay wherever you are and enjoy the things that are being offered to you. You can even be possibly satisfied at times by taking what they have, but you will never get what you want. Mm. So I'm recognizing and finally accepting my energy, my presence, and the fact that I'm now saying that I'm wired differently is a thing. It's becoming to be an impact in the life that I've been used to this whole time. As you get, again, in spaces where you don't feel like the things that you want exist, you start kind of moving differently and questioning yourself and your needs and your goals and your finances and all of the things. But let me be clear, I am by no means saying that I am better than anyone there. I'm not better than anyone's dreams. That is not it. I'm just saying I'm built for a different mission and I'm on a different path right now. So when I looked around, I just felt this is interesting. This space doesn't actually support what I want for myself moving forward. Now, if you've been following along with me, you know that my mission has always been to bring people together. I was raised in a dynamic family. I am Latina, Panamanian, and African American on one side, and my father's side is Indian and Trinidadian, right? So a lot of West Indian Caribbean roots and all of the things. Now, from the day I was born, I was uniting two very unique families, okay? That's what I'm here for. Through my gift, which is communication, I'm successful at the things that I actually go towards making a difference in. My gift, my calling, my purpose, you can call it whatever you want, but you should know that you have one. You should know that everyone has a gift. If you're not using your gift, then you're doing yourself and the people around you a disservice. So let's get into that. Even though right now, as I said, I'm working on myself, you're working with me, you keep showing up, I'm here, all those things are great. I haven't changed the product. The product for me has been me. However, I'm learning more about my gift and how to use it effectively on this product. Does that make sense? So, how about you? Are you using your gift? Are you wired differently? Have you realized that there's spaces that you go into that you may have outgrown? Now, as you know, I said in prior episodes that a gift is something that you have, you were born with it. It comes so naturally to you that you may actually be overlooking it. But that thing that you do without question, without thought, it's so simple, whether it's cooking, changing a tire, painting a wall, whatever it is that you do effortlessly and you actually enjoy doing it, that's your gift. So I don't care if it's baking, I don't care if it's painting. If you're not doing it, you're not going to be fully satisfied in life, period. That's what they say. That's what I heard. That's what I believe. Now you can challenge me because maybe you're doing so great right now without using your gift. And that can be a conversation talk. Write it in the chat. Now, here's a signature analogy. You know, I like to give my analogies. Think of a fruit tree, apple tree. I'm going to go with apple tree. It's not grown to be admired. Its purpose isn't to keep the apples for itself. If no one picks the apples, they fall off the tree and they rot. But if someone does pick the apple, they can choose to cook it, they can choose to eat it raw, they can choose to sell it, they can choose to share it, they can choose to bake a pie with it. So many options. And your talent is like these apples. You have many talents, I'm sure. You can do a lot of things. But there is one thing that you can do with your eyes closed in your sleep, and it still feels good to you. Your gift is meant to be shared with everyone but yourself, just like that apple to that tree. That's how you create impact. Now, I will share for the longest time, I believe that the more that you do for people, the more that they'll do for you. Cute, right? It's simple, it's fair, it's sweet, it's all the things. But what I learned is life doesn't work like that. The truth is, the more I do for people, the more other people do for me, the more other people do for my family. And by others, they can be strangers, unexpected allies. Honestly, my God, all the time, for example, will always do for me. Sometimes things that I didn't even want. So I show up for the people the way I want others to show up for me, the way I would want other people to show up for my family if I'm not there, and expecting zero in return. And that's truly what you have to do. Hands down, I believe in karma. Not only because I'm Indian, but because the blessing, the returns, the opportunities will come. Just very rarely do they come from the people who you pour into the most. But guess what? That's exactly how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to expect good things from people that you do good things for. And releasing that expectation for who should show up, who should activate your energy, will give you ultimate success, ultimate peace of mind, and put you in a place where good things just continue to pour in. Stop putting restrictions on yourself by expecting things from people who can't deliver. Now, you're probably wondering, because I know I was, now that you know that you're not always in spaces that you want to be in, what do you do with that information? And that's truly where I am in this journey right now. I've been privy to seeing things that I can't unsee. I've been kind of thinking through like what is that next step? Where do you want to be? How many things do you juggle at the same time? And all of these things. And hopefully you're doing it too for yourself. The first thing that I'll say to both of us and we have to be very mindful of it, is that it's not our plan truly, it's God's plan. So I say that to say that we are where we are for a reason. So hear me out on this one because I have another analogy coming up about why that happens. So we get to make choices, and our choices include whether we accept what we have or we move because we want more. Change is required to getting more. Actively moving with purpose is the part that is our responsibility. Where we end up when we move on purpose, again, for me, is God's plan. So think about life as, are you ready for this one? An escape room. I don't know if you've ever been to an escape room or if you've ever heard of it. If you've never heard of an escape room, just know that there is a room that has a lot of clues, and you go in order to try to solve the clues to get to the next level so that ultimately you can exit this space. Usually, people do it in groups, 2 or more. Okay? If you've gone to an escape room by yourself, kudos. In this room, every situation has clues, lessons, patterns, and decisions to get you closer to the next level. And again, ultimately getting out. But here's the catch: until you solve your clue, your lesson, your next number, you can't move. So you stay here until everybody puts their heads together and comes up with what it can be. Now, there is somebody there that you can ask tips for, just like you can with the internet or Alexa. Now, there are tools and resources if you need, like a helping hand. So let me just say that again for the people in the back of the room. You stay where you are until you learn the lesson from your current situation before you can move forward. So if you're not sure why your finances aren't growing, you have to solve the clue. If you're not feeling valued, appreciated, or like you even matter to people, but you still keep showing up every day, there's a lesson in that too. Haven't figured out how to showcase your skills and want the next job and have to do the resume over or have to present yourself in a way that people can see you? That's a skill too. So you have to, again, continue to learn these skills. Now, the nice thing about the escape room is that, again, you are with 2 or more people. So you rely on the strengths of the other people around you, just like life. So someone in there is good at seeing patterns. Someone in there notices specific details. Someone in your group keeps the group calm. Maybe they're not solving any puzzles at all. They just see that you can, but you need to take a deep breath before you can actually be successful. And they are there to do that, right? So at the end of the day, though, everyone gets out of the escape room together. Yeah. So no one wins alone and no one leaves alone. You don't just tap out and walk out of the room because you're done with your puzzle piece. Everybody has to move together. So again, you get it. When we combine the skills that we have, perspectives that we have, because we're coming from different environments, different upbringings, and we have a different look on life. And when we combine our energy, we move faster, we move smarter, and we can escape places that keep us stuck. Now, I'm going to share the best part of that. So I talked about that. Again, we don't do anything alone, but I think of, when I say that, good examples of partnership. So yin and yang, have you guys heard of that, right? It's that Asian symbol where the half black and the half white make the whole puzzle piece. And it's really about opposites attracting, even though they have similarities. They're 2 halves of a circle. So there is similarities, but they're opposite in look, right? Opposite in shape. Now, when you pair up good things like wine and cheese, like peanut butter and jelly, you get good outcomes because you're getting a variety of what you need. When you think of some of the best partnerships that made amazing changes in life, Roy and Walt Disney. They're probably my favorite because, oh, Tiffany, because one of them, of course, was business minded. As we, again, this is hindsight, right? So we're not going through the motions with them. We're not here in the early 1900s where they were at the top of their peak. We are just saying, in hindsight, we know that Roy was considered the business savvy one, where Walt was the creative side of the brothership, right? Now, I can imagine, this is how it goes in my head. I can imagine that conversation where, Disneyland is about to be built, decided that he wanted to go 3,000 miles away and build Walt Disney World in Florida. So he goes and he checks it out. Again, this is all my head. I'm sure this is not exactly how it went, but just think of the concept because it sounds very similar. So he goes and he sees and to survey the land here in Florida. It's in the central part of Florida. It's in a good location. It's said that that's exactly what he wanted. But what he saw was swampland, like true gator, snake swampland. Can't even be walked on in certain places. Foot's going straight into the ground. It's muddy. It's yucky. Nothing looks like it could be built here. And he goes back to Roy and he says, I found the spot that I want to build, the most magical place on earth, where we will have families from all over the world come, visit, enjoy, and be together. Happy thoughts, happy families, all of the things that he wanted. And Roy goes, okay, where's that? And he goes, right here in Central Florida. He takes him there and Roy sees a swamp. Now, you and I, given this situation today, would probably say to the person, are you crazy? This is a swamp. And Roy looked at Walt, again, just my head, and said, all right, if this is what we're doing, let's do it. We need to get investors. We need to get money. We need to get it, whatever it was. And the plan, so be it, 1971, Magic Kingdom opens in Orlando. But when you have a partnership built on trust, understanding, loyalty, commitment, and people who truly believe in your vision, then Swampland doesn't seem so ridiculous at all. All I'm saying is there are great partnerships. Opposites attract. Greg and I, you think we're the same? Hell no. Right, babe? You hear that one word answer? I would have came to the camera already to talk to you if somebody invited me that way. Greg and I are not the same. Trust me on that. And I say to that, thank God. I definitely don't need two Tiffany's. Nobody does. Right, babe? Honestly, that's what makes us great. That opposite fills in gaps. It allows us to challenge each other, create growth movements. Surround yourself with people who stretch you and see what you can't see. That's what's going to make you great. So when I walked out of that event thinking, wow, I have more questions than answers. And I'm going to say that room wasn't wrong. It just wasn't feeding the version of me that has big dreams. I have a lot of things that I want. All right. I want to be in places. I want to be in spaces. I want to occupy rooms. I want to talk to more people. I want to bring joy to thousands, all of these things. But maybe, just maybe, what that room has is a clue that I need to get out of my escape room. It's a mirror that showed me my energy. It's a mirror that showed me my vibration is different. And it's a mirror that showed me my purpose. I was able to reflect on Tiffany, my Tiffany, that happened in that moment where I took myself out of there and was just like, whoa, I think I need more. So let me ask a few pulse check questions and see where you are on your journey. Is the room that you're in most often becoming too small for who you are? Are you waiting for people to validate you? Have you confused comfort with purpose? Very different. And are the people around you pushing you, inspiring you, stretching you in ways that you didn't expect, calling on growth in your life? And be honest with yourself. No need to lie. I can't even hear what your answer choices were. But if there's questions on your ability to do more, be more, and see more, and that's what you want for yourself, these are things that you have to actually consider. It's time to do something about. So I left that event not discouraged, but I did leave crystal clear. I'm no longer looking for motivation in the wrong room. I'm going to accept again what every room has to offer, and I'm not going to try to get a burger from Starbucks. I got to go where I need to be to get the things that I want. Expect nothing and appreciate everything. Again, one of my favorite quotes. It's so good. I'm not questioning the choices that I've made so far. Everything that I've done to get me to this point is spot on. But I am stepping into circles where purpose is normal, where calling is part of a normal conversation, and that impact is the actual goal. If your dreams doesn't sound scary to you, now it should definitely be scary to other people. But if it's not even scary to you, then you still have room to up it. It shouldn't sound like anybody else's dream. And it doesn't mean that your big dreams are unrealistic. If there are people around you who think so, you just may not be amongst the company that you need to be in. Big dreams just means that you're a leaders, and leaders don't wait for motivation. They become it. You have to stay open, stay generous, stay humble, stay aligned. And remember, you don't escape life challenges alone. You escape them by recognizing the gifts in other people, the people around you. So continue to drive, to motivate. If you are the cheerleader, then be the best cheerleader that you can for the person with the big dreams. They still need you. You are a part of the whole. The yin and the yang doesn't exist. Your gift is needed by someone else for them to get to their next level. You cannot hold on to it. Together, we make magic.